What is up, my dashing dudes? I am the Hans TV, and today we find out that apparently people would rather their child have polio than seizures. In today's episode of r/VaxxHappened. Our first story for the day comes from My Surname is NASA. Check out the comments. My point about the terms that anti-vaxxers use, such as chakras and stuff. It's the healthy kids that suffer, and you haven't had any vaccinations, as it makes it unsafe to be in your kids with those 63 dodgy ingredients in their bodies, and also these special kids with 12 chakras, and an extra DNA strand that helps them to stay bright if they don't get vaccinated, and especially if they are indigo or crystal or rainbow kids, as the doctors in on the loop know it's there to kill or screw up their gifts as special children. Now, we know why the vaccination are freebies, and why Bill Gates is being charged with genocide. Holy tinfoil hat, Batman! Did any of you understand what the actual freak this person was saying? If you did, leave a comment down below because I have absolutely no idea. Our next story comes from, like, W2F seriously, a golden YouTube comment. So, my son got vaccinated today. Should I be worried? Replies by the freaking measles virus. Yes, absolutely everything will go wrong. You will get Down syndrome. Your skin will start to peel off. You will develop osteoporosis. You will go blind. You will start pooping giant horses. World War III will begin. The seventh seal will crack. The apocalypse will come. Earth will blow up. A hypernova will explode 2 light years away from us. Literally everything will go wrong. Everything! Some people may say that this guy was overstepping the boundaries a bit and over-exaggerating. But to be honest, he was just using their own kind of logic against them. Our next story comes from GPG-Ho. When anti-vaxxers want to use YouTube as a source, can you use a more reputable source than YouTube? Anyone can upload a YouTube video with 0 credentials or evidence of their claims. No, you are just wrong. You are not making parents aware. You are spreading false information. Might as well advise parents to drill holes into autistic children's heads to let the bad spirits out. What you are saying is just as idiotic. I'm just saying that I can upload a video off my butt to YouTube claiming that it is the best butt in the world, but that doesn't make it true. If that's the standard of the sources you guys want to use to prove your points, then there's really no hope for your intelligence levels. I really want to see the original comment thread of this and see what happened afterwards, because, like, come on, this is hilarious. Our next story comes from Frosty McButts. Woke Facebook pharmacist tells all. I am also a pharmacist and share the same experience as Janice. I am in the US. I was already written up for not meeting quota. If someone asks for side effects, I will tell them death, paralysis, etc. instead of the standard sore arm, flu-like symptom story we are supposed to say. I have 2 types of patients coming to me. 1. The thankful one for opening their mind about the risks of vaccines. 2. The ones that called me a bad pharmacist for talking bad about vaccine-preventable diseases. I recently had a lady literally point a finger to my face saying I was a danger to society by talking people out of vaccines. In short, I need a new career before I get fired. At least, I feel good about many new parents I have warned against vaccines. I automatically know who they are because they come in looking for baby Tylenol or ibuprofen after their well baby visit. I'm pretty sure that as a pharmacist, you hold no degree into saying what a vaccine can and can't do. Most pharmacists don't even really have a doctorate, so. Our next story comes from Theiro. On a humble brag post of mine on Facebook, apparently vaccines could have made my triplets premature. They're adorable, blank, looking so grow up already. Are they vaccinated? Thank you, they really are. Time is flying by and yes, they are vaccinated. Not sure why you ask, because maybe vaccine is why they were premature. They are not always good for our babies. I'm speechless. I don't see the correlation between vaccines and premature birth. I'm pretty sure they were premature because they're triplets. Our next story comes from Darth Batman 73. Don't do it. Parents, do not vaccinate your kids. Allow a healthcare professional to do it for you. Short and sweet and full of truth. Thank God for people like this. Our next story comes from Tiana Rose 23. These guys get it. I'm both pro-herbal medicine and pro-vaccination, because you can treat burns with aloe vera juice and sore throats with lavender-infused honey, but you can't rid a country of polio with plants. This. Don't forget, kids, jewelweed is a natural counteragent to poison ivy rashes, but it won't do crap against whooping cough. Mint for nausea, valerian and chamomile for sleep, antibiotics for freaking infections. Educational and salty. I like it. This is a different kind of post than what would normally be featured here, but hey, I like it. I like the sass and I love the salt. This next story comes from Skeletal Shrew. The time I got diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. I have a fun little story for you, my lovelies. My mum is a true sweetheart. Not quite a boomer, but somewhat culturally unaware. She's kind of empathetic, but she has a razor-sharp wit that only really comes out when she's comfortable with a person. Otherwise, this wit is totally undercover, and you would never know it's there. She hides it so well that even those of us who know her well tend to underestimate her. Recently, I was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at the age of 23. It was a long and somewhat painful process that my mum and I went through. On the car ride home, she pipes up out of nowhere in shock and surprise as though she had a sudden realization. "I knew I shouldn't have taken you to get the MMR vaccine." I looked at her in total shock and surprise. "Are you kidding?" I ask. She looks at me with a total crap-eating grin and begins laughing. This, of course, took me by surprise, because I had no idea she knew of the erroneous connection between vaccines and autism. And further, I expected even less that she knew of the anti-vax movement. So, of course, I too burst into laughter. If my mum was 30 years younger, she'd be a meme lord crap post master. She had us in the first half there. Not gonna lie. This next story comes from DH379. Extremely knowledgeable. Ohio Department of Health confirms first measles case since 2017. Proud and extremely knowledgeable anti-vaxxer. If my kids get measles, I will take them to the doctor. If my kids fry their brains or go nonverbal from a vaccination, you can't come back from that, period. I will never vaccinate my children. I wonder how many of her children have died due to her ignorance. This next post comes from Soul47. Google the truth about pet vaccines. I have some questions about animal vaccinations, if anyone is knowledgeable about that. We took Puppy for first round, and are supposed to bring her back for 2 or 3 more rounds. As someone who does not vaccinate her kids, I didn't feel right about having to get so many vaccines for Puppy. Although I don't know a lot about vaccines for dogs, but I certainly don't want to do anything to hurt my puppy. However, I obviously want to protect her from all of the dog diseases, so I'm just wondering what to do from here. Any advice would be much appreciated. When I was growing up, we never took our family dog to the vet. Never had him vaccinated. He was also on Alpo food and ate leftovers. He lived till he was 19. Beagle/Chihuahua mix. My second dog was a bulldog. I vaccinated her on schedule, fed her good quality food. She died at 6.5 to kidney and heart disease. My third dog was a French Mastiff, also vaccinated on schedule. In the beginning, she ended up having terrible reactions to her vaccines. I would have to give Benadryl before she went for them. Also ended up with severe allergies and constant skin infections. I stopped vaccinating. Her allergies got better. Had her on a good quality diet. She ended up getting skin cancer, mast cell tumor, and passing away at 6.5. I'm done vaccinating my pets. I truly believe they are poison for all. Vets say not needed. Too many dangerous ingredients. Google the truth about pet vaccines. Ty and Charlene on Facebook. Pardon my phrasing here, but these guys are absolutely freaking retarded. Get your animals vaccinated, because if you don't, they can be susceptible to parvo, lepto, and all these other nasty diseases that are actually zoonotic and can be transferred to humans. Get them vaccinated and get your crotch goblins vaccinated as well. Our final post for the day comes from GHern41. I wouldn't be happy with either, but I'd rather my hypothetical child have a Caesar than polio. I love the #provax logic that #vaccine injury isn't common, so it's somehow acceptable. Wait until it's your child. Wait until you see your child have a seizure. #do your own research. #not 1 in a million. #rise up. #vaccines. #hear this well. #learn the risk. Alright, my dashing dudes, that is going to do it for today's episode of r/VaxxHappened. That was infuriating. If you like the stories, I'll link them down in the description as always. If you liked what I did here, go ahead and leave a sub, a like, and a comment down below with what you want to see me read next. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.